And of course, the second I actually start recording, the baby wakes up. It's not the way that it always works though. Just lay down, go back to sleep.
Would you be my the done? I still got a lot of shit to learn.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back. Sorry, you know how life happens sometimes. Thanks. Anyway, so today we're gonna be talking about 5 things that you can do to boost your milk supply. Now, I have been an exclusively pumping mama for over a year, and I think I've learned a few tips and tricks along the way, and whenever I start seeing a dip in my milk supply, I implement these next 5 rules that I'm about to share with you, and it works. So here are my secrets. Okay, so let's dive into the list, starting with number 5, in order of least important to importance in my opinion, and that is to drink more water. Now I know you probably read this everywhere and everyone's telling you the same thing, drink water, drink water, drink water, but really, like, it could be something that's like super hard to do when you're a mom and you got a million other things that are going on, your hands are always full with something, and your baby's always in your arms or whatever, and it's sometimes just hard to just sit down and remember to drink water. As a breastfeeding mom, you are supposed to be having about 16 cups of water. Now that's 8 ounces per cup, so it's about your weight in ounces is what it comes out to be. I just try to have this one big jug that I refill 2 to 3 times, and then it ends up being, it's like not focusing when I go back here.
Focus.
So I know it gets so boring and so repetitive to hear the same thing over and over, but really your body is expelling liquid to make that milk. So it's got to be getting it from somewhere. So if you're dehydrated, your body's obviously going to use what it needs in water for your brain to function, for your kidneys to function, and then it's going to go in level of importance, and milk is going to be one of the last things that it does to keep something else alive because it's too busy trying to keep you alive. So if you just cut out that step for your body to do and just drink plenty of water, then it'll definitely help. And the way that I can do this is it's just so much water that sometimes you just get so bored of freaking drinking water. Like, hi, me, hate water. So what you could do to make it fun is cut up like a fresh slice of lemon in your water and then have it have that extra flavor or of a boost, or strawberries. Do fresh fruits in your water, or if you have one of those infusion bottles, even better. That way it infuses into the water and it tastes super yummy and refreshing, and it's just something different than just plain boring water. One thing that I really liked to do is to have different variations of drinks that would hydrate me in my fridge, like cold Gatorades, cold coconut waters, cold seltzer waters of different flavors, like the mango flavor, the lemon flavor, the lime flavor. I just wanted to have a variety so that when I would get bored, I can just have something else to reach for. And the last thing that you can do to kind of boost this and make it a little bit more fun is to get like a nice big water bottle that's really cute and pretty and something that you're going to want to be drinking out of. So like I bought this really cute bottle off Amazon. I think it was like $5 or $6, but it was darling, and I put all my fun stickers on it, and it also has this nice little strap, which really helps when I have to be carrying the baby and carrying a dirty diaper or a bottle or other things. Like, I feel like as a mom, you have to have like 8 arms because you're always carrying something in and out of somewhere. So having that strap really helped, and it also helped as a reminder to be like, wait, what is this that's like I'm always carrying around? Oh yeah, it's my water bottle. Let me take a sip. So, you know, it's kind of like a 2 birds, 1 stone thing. You have something pretty to drink out of, it's gonna make you want to drink more. This just does not want to focus on me today. Is there a ghost in here? Do we need to call Shane Dawson? That sums it up for all the water tricks. Next on the list in order of importance is to eat foods that promote breast milk, that promote the production of breast milk, so to speak. So I really liked the lactation cookies that they sell like at Target and Walgreens, and I'll put the brand right here and link it down below if you want to check them out. They are really expensive, so it is kind of like a luxury treat to have, but they're delicious. Like, I would even want these over regular Chips Ahoy cookies. Like, they're so freaking good. And I think that they have an ingredient called fenugreek in it. So if you've heard of it, fenugreek is, there has been studies that have been done that say that it does promote the production of breast milk. So there are supplements that they sell with fenugreek in it. There are cookies that you can make at home with fenugreek in it, and there are like mother's milk teas, which I have tried, that have fenugreek as one of the ingredients. Now with fenugreek, you do want to be super careful because you don't want to be like doubling up so much of it. So you don't want to be like eating the lactation cookies and a lactation tea, and then have also be taking a supplement with all fenugreek in it, because then you're gonna be like overdosing off this one thing. So that's something that a lactation consultant told me, so just watch out for that. Next is that you want to eat foods that help promote the production of breast milk. Now, one of the things that I would love to make, still love to make, is a lactation oatmeal. Now, I call it that just because I've like come up with the proper ratios of how to make it a lactation boosting oatmeal. But what I would do is that I would add about a cup to a cup and a half of oats, just like the regular old-fashioned oats, the steel cut oats. I'm not sure why I call them steel cut. Makes them sound scary, like a boot, but no, it's just regular oats. And then I would add about a cup to a cup and a half of oat milk, which is nice and thick and creamy, and it just adds that like really luxurious like feel to your oatmeal, to where it's gonna be nice and creamy. Love my oatmeal nice and creamy. Say creamy one more time. Creamy. Okay, that was so annoying. Oh my god, let's cut all of that out. Then I would add about a heaping tablespoon of almond butter to that, as well as a plethora of berries, because it's just yum, and it also just helps with, you know, antioxidants and whatnot. Now this, 10 out of 10 would recommend. I would sometimes eat 2-3 bowls of this a day, and like the next day I would just be producing so much milk. So I don't know if it was just this alone that would do it, but it's just really rich in iron and protein because of the almond butter, and just, you know, the healthy fats, the antioxidants. It's kind of like a good, easy, quick meal for you to make. It would really make me produce more milk. So there's a little recipe for you to try. Other things that you can do is to eat lots of protein, eating foods that are rich, like chicken, poultry, any kind of poultry, salmon, you know, obviously like nuts and stuff like that. Those things can really help the production of breast milk. So I, you know, would have a hard time with this one, just because when you have a baby, you don't have time to be cooking chickens and salmons and whatnots. So I would just make my oatmeal super high in protein, and when I got a chance to like eat animal meats and stuff like that, you know, I would. But that's just something that I read online that they said that would work, and I tried it, but I didn't seem to see much of a difference there. So putting it out there, you can take it or leave it. Let me know how it works out for you. Number 3 in level of importance, and I think that one should actually be more like a number 2, but let me just say it, is a reduction in stress. So having stressors around you at the time that you're pumping or breastfeeding can really make you have a dip in that session for breast milk production. So one thing that I would really do is, like, when it was time for me to pump, is that I would either do it when she's napping or right after she ate, so that she could be happy and just like sitting down like at an arm's length away from me, that I could see her, but she's not going to be crying or anything. Or I would wait until like my husband was around, and I could be like, can you entertain her, or just take her, or just play with her, or do whatever you need to do to keep her happy, so that I don't have to hear her cry and be all stressed out that something is wrong with her. Can you just like feel the stress even just building up in me talking about it? Like, it's crazy the amount of stress that it could bring, just knowing that your baby needs something and that you're over here trying to pump. Because it's like, you have to pump because you know they're gonna need the milk later. They don't understand that. but they need something right here, right now. But you're like, if I don't pump, then you're not gonna have food. But if I don't help you right now, then I'm not gonna be able to pump any milk. So it's kind of it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It's just so hard. It's so hard to find that balance. But when you do, girls, stick to that schedule. I know it's really hard, especially within the first couple weeks where everything is freaking you out and there are so many things that are on your list of to-dos to try to stay stress-free. But let me tell you, it makes a huge difference on your milk, a difference on your milk production. The other thing that I kind of like laugh at, but it's still on this list because it's true, is try to get more sleep.
I'll wait.
Yeah, I still don't really even know how to answer that one for you when you're in the newborn phase. You're not going to be getting much sleep, but sleep can, oh my gosh, make such a difference in your milk production. If you're just getting good quality 2-hour, 3-hour stretches of like a good sleep, then I would notice like my milk supply would just be so much more in that session than it would if I was like getting an hour and a half and then just super stressed out because I have to wake up again because the baby just woke up and needs to eat again, needs to change their diaper, and then all the things. If I start going on a tangent, it's because I remember that newborn phase and it was not for the faint of heart. And there was just always all the things. And you'll know, like, you know, if you're a mama to be, you'll know when you get there. If you're already a mama of a newborn, then you know what I mean. It's all the things. Now, number 2 on the list. Now, this is something that I highly suggest you try at least once or twice or 3 times, but really commit to it because it really does work, is a power pumping sesh. Let's say it together, y'all. A power pumping sesh. Now, yes, adding a power pumping sesh or 2 to your week will drastically increase your milk. Now, I did it for a whole week straight once and I got an entire other feeding out of it. So like 150 mLs, which is like a whole nother bottle worth. And so it works really well. And the way you do it is that you pump for 20 minutes, you take a 10-minute break, you get on for another 10 minutes, then you take another 10-minute break, and then you get on again for another 10 minutes. So that all should equal out to an hour time block that you're pumping on and off. And that will tell your breasts that your baby is cluster feeding and that therefore we need to make more milk.
Like, this baby's eating, we need to make more milk.
So, and it really does, like for some women, it just takes like a session and they notice an increase the next day. Maybe it's only by like 10 to 15 mLs more the next day, but it's still something. Other women need to do it for a couple of days straight or even a week straight, you know, 1 power pumping session a day for a week. And then it can drastically increase your milk supply then. I notice it within even just 1 session, but the more sessions that I add on to the week, the more and more milk I seem to be able to produce. Like I'll just feel fuller sooner and then I end up, you know, having to be on the pump a little bit longer, but it's really worth it because then I get a lot more milk. Now, last, but the most important thing that you can do to increase your milk production, come here. You want to, oh my God, I'm not gonna do that again. I haven't taken care of my mustache in a while, guys. Okay, don't look at me. Just like, pretend you didn't see that, okay? Anyway, the number 1 thing that you can do is empty, empty, empty. You know how in real estate, the saying is location, location, location? In breastfeeding world, the saying is empty, empty, empty. Now, what this means is that when you are pumping, or breastfeeding, you know, you want to make sure that you feel the letdowns happen. I usually get 2 to 3 letdowns per session. And if I didn't get at least that, I will wait until I feel a letdown. So I don't just stay married to that 20-minute time block that the lactation consultants tell you to stay on that pump for. I sometimes will pump for 25 to almost 30 minutes. It never really reaches 30 minutes, but 25 to almost 30 minutes until I get another letdown. And I make sure that as I'm doing that, I'm like massaging my breast to like make sure it's like all getting squeezed out. And it works, like it works so much, because then your body says, oh my gosh, like this baby just drank all of this milk, like to the very last drops of the depths of this boob. We better be making more milk because this baby's gonna need more. Emptying out your breasts each and every time is the #1 way to tell your breasts to make more milk. Now, if you haven't done this in a while, I am like now, you know, since I'm at a year or more in to my breast pumping journey, I'm only pumping 3 times a day, you know, sometimes just 2 times a day. So when I do that, I'm telling my breasts, this is all we need for our baby. And it stays consistently on that. But like on the days that I know I'm gonna need more milk to store, or just in general, my baby's just drinking more because it's getting warm outside, then I definitely have to make sure that I'm emptying every single time. And it could be a pain in the butt, because that means that you have to sit there and wait for another letdown, and you have to make sure that you like stay the whole time so that it just empties out the breast. So yeah, it's time consuming, but it's the #1 thing that you can do to make more milk. And that sums it up for my 5 tips, guys. Just remember that no matter what you end up doing, whether it's, you know, doing combination feeding, which is partial formula, partial breast milk. I did that for a while, you know, when I needed to, that you're still breastfeeding at that point. You're not like less of a mom because you can't produce as much or whatever you're doing. It's nothing like that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with formula feeding. But if this is something that you just personally wanted to do for yourself and for your baby, then you can try all of these things. And then at the end of the day, sometimes your body is just not going to produce the milk. And that's hormonal. That has nothing to do with you and what you're doing. So you have to give yourself grace and realize that you are going to do anything and everything you can to make breastfeeding a part of your journey. But if it's not gonna be a part of your journey, that is not a reflection on you as a mother at all. In fact, you are a great, fantastic mother for going through some of these hardships and overcoming and still thinking like, you know, we're gonna keep my baby fed no matter what. So if that involves formula or combination feeding or whatever it happens to be, you're doing the best thing you can for your baby, and that's to make sure that your baby is fed. And like I said, it's probably hormonal and has nothing to do with you anyway. Sometimes your body is just done, and it's just, you know, it did all the things that it can do, and then because some women have PCOS, they have to stop their breastfeeding journey earlier than others. Some others were never able to produce in the first place, and that is all okay. You need to give yourself grace because your baby at the end of the day needs you, okay? Breastfeeding is an awesome thing. It's great for so many reasons, but so is formula. And you know, we're lucky to be in a time where we have that kind of technology, and it's just so sad. And my heart goes out to those mamas that can't find their specific formulas on the shelves because of, you know, dietary reasons or, you know, allergies that the baby might have. It's horrible that we're like living in a time where we're like not in a third world country. We're like here in America, and we're still having issues with like not being able to feed our babies. It's like, that's just so crazy to me. My heart goes out to any of those mamas that need help out there for that. You know, I can only imagine the kind of stress that you guys are under. So I'll keep you guys in my prayers. So that's it. Can't wait to see you guys on my next video. I really hope that some of these tips help you mamas out there. Let me know in the comments below which one was the one that worked for you, or if all of them worked for you. I would love to know. And yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.
You glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better.